Episode number 222.
Somebody's in a dark enough place that you're able to have enough people touch them. Look, they might be able to get out of their rabbit hole to create enough change in their life to impact another human.
Welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff, where we talk about life, dreams, social media, and business.
Well, hello and welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff. Folks, after this show, I hope that you will look at yourself in the mirror and smile more at others too, because I'm so pumped to bring you our featured guest today, Michael Ray. Michael, are you ready to be real?
What's up, brother? I live within real, so most certainly, let's do it.
My man is always about being real, and he is all about the smiles. So he is the founder of the Smile Project, which is in Louisville, Smile Project Louisville, as well as the development director of Positivity Mindset. But most importantly, folks, my man is all about motivating you to smile and smile. He's a smile motivator. So we're so excited to have you on the show today, Michael. First, I always ask all our guests, how's your day going today?
Day's going amazing, man. I've been running and gunning, and again, it is about the mindset. So I don't, really look at Mondays any differently than any other day. So it's amazing to be alive and always trying to make wonderful things happen.
That's awesome. So I'm so curious into this. What made you start with this project of smiles and in your area specifically?
Well, first and foremost, it was the relationship I have with my 20-year-old daughter who has Down syndrome.
Oh, okay.
Now having Down syndrome really is no different than any other human being that has that chromosomal anomaly. But what's a little bit different about her is she's nonverbal.
Oh, okay.
So, being a parent, I often say, what we take for granted is those three simple words that we hear from our children that we really crave as a parent, and that is, I love you. Well, I've never heard those three simple words from my daughter, Maddie. So for me, our relationship is different in that we communicate heavily on expressions.
Right.
So I feel the love and hear her say it when I ask her, well, how much do you love Daddy, in the smiles and the laughter. So that for me had carried on for years. And as I went through a lot of challenges and tough times in my life, it really carried me through that journey. And then I really had a random encounter with somebody at a drive-through, and of all places was going through a Wendy's. And the short interaction that I had with a stranger, her energy, her love for life, it was laughing and smiling, that I had a moment in which I had finished the drive-through. I pulled and parked, and I really said at that moment, hey, God, what are you trying to tell me? So for me, that interaction meant enough that I made a decision to get out of the car. And I laugh about it now that, I was that creepy dude who walked up, to the drive-through window. And of course, when you do that, the first reaction from the person is, well, what's wrong? Well, nothing was wrong. But I really felt moved enough that I need to show her some appreciation, some kindness and love. And in that moment, after saying all that, I didn't really know what it would mean to me, but I asked to take my picture with her, smiling. So we did. And it was really the genesis of what a nonverbal daughter in that relationship and how my life had evolved with smiling, and now a chance encounter with a stranger. So there was no name, but I said, you know what? I'm going to start taking random pictures with strangers in this city smiling. So over the course of the next, 6-7 weeks, that's what it was. And I had probably taken, 25, 30 pictures. And after about 2 months, it really kind of hit me at that point in how that social interaction and making strangers smile started to impact my life. And then I said, it's just the simplicity of smiling. And, so it's not some grand name. I decided at that point, because I lived in Louisville, to call it the Smile Project, Louisville. So after a couple of months, it took on a name. And then I really, started taking videos and the interaction that I would have with my daughter and carried that into, the interactions with strangers. And I've often said, we don't know as we interact with those strangers in our daily lives, no matter where our lives would take us, what someone else is going through.
Right.
And sometimes those brief interactions we have can change someone's morning, change someone's day, to bring a little bit of light, whether it's a smile or a small act of kindness. So for me, it really became intentional early on to where it became so natural.
That's awesome. That's amazing. I love that. And folks that are listening, I really believe that the best ideas or our best intuitions are the best things that ever happen to us are when we're like connected and paying attention to. So like that moment you had in Wendy's, you felt that this smile changed my life. And maybe somehow, I didn't know, maybe you didn't probably foresee your project how it is now, but you just felt that moment. I gotta go, obviously thank them or show them my appreciation and then capture this photo so that we have this moment together where we're both smiling, right? It's like, it's brilliant. It's really, truly brilliant.
It is. It's, for me, it was a little bit more faith-based because I actually, in that moment, I started crying before I realized what I needed to do. And it was like having that conversation and going, what do you want me to do here?
Wow.
And not knowing. And I, said, at least for me, when there is that faith-based element, it was like the Holy Spirit talking to me going, no, go tell that person. I ended up finding out her name, of course, and it was Chantrell, telling her in that 45 second to minute interaction, how much it truly meant to me. And again, then, really wanting to then have an impact and inspire others in just the simplicity. And that's what I really talk about now. It's the simplicity of a smile. It costs nothing. It's contagious. We do, as we navigate through our daily lives, we mindfully don't realize how many other people we actually interact with on a daily basis.
Right. Absolutely. And if you look around, folks, besides people being behind a phone, which most people are got their damn nose buried in a phone, there's not very many people that are smiling. I notice that quite often when I go to the gym or I go to the grocery store or, a lot of people don't have a smile on their face. So if you can be that beacon of light to them, it might really make their day better, So then what on an ongoing basis since then, what is the kind of the goal or what's your aspirations for this project?
Well, it's funny because, at least initially in the thing that I of course, the biggest part of my platform is be the reason why someone smiles today. And not knowing, I talk about the pictures and really the first, I guess, 15, 16 months or so, that's mainly what it was taking pictures until I decided to do a random act of kindness and going, okay, you know what? Now we're going to be a little bit more intentional and we're going to go into the inner city and we're going to try to make someone smile by doing a random act of kindness. And we're going to video it to see if we can inspire others. And I'm rewinding now to, late last summer, it was early August in which I did my first one. And I saw the impact of actually giving, something of value to a total stranger and then seeing the response, not only from them, others that actually watched it. So it's become now a combination of still taking those pictures, but then going out on a weekly basis. Some weeks it's 1 or 2, some weeks it's 4 or 5. And it's grown and the momentum has picked up enough to where it's inspiring others to want to be involved. And to them, it means going, you know what? We want to pay it forward. We know so-and-so, and they're going through a hard time in life. And they really could use, some love, a hugs, a smile, somebody to show up. And maybe that could be their moment for them, like it was for me at Wendy's, to really change the course for them. So I've started seeing and feeling that, look, we smile because life is hard. And some people do have it harder than others.
Right.
So, when you ask me that question, where it's going, it's an amazingly growing platform. I'm behind the scenes here and things that I really never thought that were important, like wow, I need to have a website. This is turning into a nonprofit.
Right.
I've got to have board members. So it's a lot of those moving pieces now that I find myself that people are wanting to get involved on bigger levels that I never anticipated.
Wow. That's
And
amazing.
I often says as I look back, it's that, really truly knowing now that one person can make a difference. And when you really intentionally do it to inspire and impact lives, be careful because it can become bigger than you.
Wow.
And that's what it's really evolved and grown into. So things that probably should have been done 6-8 months ago, I'm now doing because it's taken on a life of its own. But that's the beauty of kind of what's been created.
Right. And you didn't have necessarily the intention to go out and do this. You didn't probably know that this was going to turn into its own. You're just taking pictures and you didn't really know exactly how this is going to all form out. And now it's something really special.
My true intent early on was like, look, if I can inspire some people to go out and kind of do it themselves and smile at strangers, that would be great. And then it just continued to evolve. And I'm like, this is bigger than me now.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I think it's even bigger than Louisville. I mean, I think it's
it is. And that's the beauty, of course, we're engaging on LinkedIn here. And that's the beauty of these social media platforms in that, Facebook is primarily local or Kentucky. Instagram has a little bit different reach and demographic, but right. LinkedIn, I'm still to this day blown away that the content is consumed globally. And the amount of people that reach out in the kind words and things they share with me from all over the world. Wow. I'm truly blown away by that platform.
Yeah. So LinkedIn, folks, those that think it's just only for business, it is for business. But man, imagine the network that has been created for you. I was just browsing LinkedIn this morning. I think you were smiling with Jeremy Piven.
I did. I got an opportunity. Actually, that picture was last fall. And of course, I grew up a huge fan of Ari Gold and watched the series Entourage and happened to get an opportunity to meet Jeremy. And sometimes, some of the pictures when I come across very, very meaningful quotes, and this morning was one of them. Yeah, I threw Jeremy out there today. And sometimes, too, the same content months later can be recycled and touch different people. So yeah, obviously, Jeremy, love me some Piven.
Yeah, don't be afraid to recycle, folks. Don't be afraid to recycle your posts. Most people, even if they did see it 3 months ago, will forget that they saw that.
Well, when I posted the first time, there was nothing, surrounding it. Versus I read a quote, just earlier this morning, the best way to make your dreams come true is just wake up, wake up and then go do. And I think it was Muhammad Ali, he's from Louisville who said that. So that inspired me. And I went through, I'm going, my man, Piven. I'm going to drop that on Piven's picture. And then, you know what, just a totally different level of response and engagement. So
that's awesome. Because your following's continually building. Because I'm sure
it is. It's truly evolves and grows daily, monthly. And
that's amazing. Folks, you should be inspired today, my man. We are inspired by you today because I feel it in your energy. I was watching a video you did. You were doing like karaoke with a gentleman. He was busting it out, and you were joining him, and you could just feel the joy in that moment. I don't know if you were at like a senior citizen home or something.
I actually was, and I try to tell people too, amazing things can happen when you leave your comfort zones. It's what, Gary, I've been consuming content from Gary Vaynerchuk for years now.
Absolutely.
And if you're willing to step out and get uncomfortable and look at that, I was silly, I was weird, but I was in a room full of 30, 40 seniors. And they just lost their minds and they started laughing and smiling and just that 15, 20 second, interaction with those people. But again, most people don't want to get up on a microphone with a total stranger and put your arm around you, but when you embrace those things, truly some very special things can happen.
That's amazing. And also I see it embraced into your outfits and your clothing and kind of the people feel that from when they see you, right?
I do. So I've created dozens of different shirts, and even during the holidays, again talking about the no comfort zones, I was able in a short period of time to raise $1,000, and then went immediately to give it all away.
That's
And I
awesome.
dressed up in a couple of different elf costumes and rolled all over the city, walked into crowded malls, restaurants, no matter where it was, dressed up as an elf to just drop smiles and kindness on strangers before Christmas. So
Wow.
yeah, it's, now with the level of visibility locally, I'm a little bit more recognizable, and I've walked into restaurants and um, sports bars and things, and people come up and go, "Wait, you're that Smile guy,"
Mm.
So it's I tell people, man, I'm a very humble person, and look, I love that it's resonating with people, but sometimes too, when you take a step back, it's like I can't believe the level of impact it's having.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and like you said from the beginning, it's always about sometimes when you're just doing something for others, without maybe that intention of the outcome, and also a lot of times we get into these situations where, oh, I don't want to put my hand around someone. I don't know this person. Why should I smile at them? You know what I mean? It's like I guess you could call it egocentric or
Sure.
what's in it for me personality that most of us, I would say a lot of us that are driving around the roads today or at the gym or wherever have. And I think that that's something so unique in this world, is that someone is doing something for others without any real intention, without any real outcome outside of that, maybe making them smile. Right. I mean, that's the outcome, right?
Of course. I mean, it's amazing when you truly are humbled and you can be selfless,
Mm,
and then you can break down barriers and have no comfort zones. The reactions and the level of emotions you can draw from somebody. I walked out of a grocery store a couple of months ago, and, again, a lot of times I just feel it. I feel going, okay, what should I do? And I was trying to debate as I saw these two African American women walking out. I'm like, all right, should I approach them, introduce myself, take a picture? And as I walked up, it just hit me. And all it was, I put my arm around one. And she, of course, looked up and she's like, what? And I said, hey, when's the last time a white dude put his arm around you? And she started laughing and she said, actually, never. And it's
never.
about damn time. And I
Right.
said, see? And then she started laughing again. She goes, and thank God he smells really good.
Hey.
And it was just this 30 to 45 seconds again, no comfort zones, just looking to make people laugh and smile because you don't know what journey they're on. And then, look, that was it. It wasn't even a picture, but I left an impression with them without even telling them who I was, that look, it's okay to laugh and smile with strangers in these small moments. And I find myself, whether it's an arm around somebody, I give people high fives, fist bumps, and just a smile.
Right.
So it's holding the door for somebody, and that's that small act
Mm,
of kindness. But hey, you can take it a step further when you smile and go, hello,
right.
just hello to a total stranger, and hey, how's your morning?
Right.
That's it. You don't have to get into a 20-minute conversation, but you've shown a stranger through the simplicity of holding a door, a random act of kindness, smiling with them, that you care,
Right.
you know.
And there's probably 0% of people that have done that for them. So you can be the beacon
More
of
often
light.
than not, it doesn't happen, so
Yeah.
it doesn't, when people talk about kindness, sometimes we think it has to be money related, and more often than not, it's not. It's
Right.
absolutely not. It's just these very simple acts that we can do for other human beings that cost nothing.
That's so true. I even found even just do a head nod to someone. You know what I mean? If you're at the
It's
gym and you got a lot going on, smiling a head nod, and like it's amazing the respect that happens just in that quick moment.
It truly is. There are countless simple acts that we can do in our daily lives. Again, I find myself at drive-throughs now with the window down, sticking my hand in and give them a fist bump, and then they laugh. And I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And I just drive off, and they're probably having a moment like this. They're turning on, man, this dude just gave me a fist bump. And they're
Right.
laughing about it. So it's
Yeah, you could have rolled up and gave him a 20, but the fist pump almost goes further.
Again, it's just the simplicity of the act that can be just as effective as handing somebody $5-10.
Right. Right. So where do you see this going? Where do you see in 5 years? Do you envision a 5-year goal plan, or
look, I'm very optimistic that it's a much bigger platform, the ability to do things on a bigger level, for strangers, and some of our random acts of kindness when we really help out people who are less fortunate, that instead of giving them $50 to $100, we might be helping families out on a bigger level. I think that with my story and able to inspire people, I've been able locally to do a little bit of public speaking. So
right.
I think I do have a message and the charisma to inspire larger groups. So I think that there may be some opportunities there moving forward. So, again, I just on a basic level really comes down to, I try to leave people with just one person can make a difference. And if truly, somebody's in a dark enough place that you're able to have enough people touch them, look, they might be able to get out of their rabbit hole to create enough change in their life to impact another human. So we live in some crazy times, not only in this world, but in this country. So when we're able to really break down all the barriers, all the stereotypes,
right.
We're here to love, man.
I think that's the truth. It is so easy to hate. It's so easy to be negative and this and that. You see it on the TV, on the news, on everything you do. But it can be harder for people to just love, to share the smile, to share the opening the door for others, and I think you're absolutely right. I mean, it happens when you impact one and then the other person is impacted. I mean, shoot, the lady Chantrell that you had that moment with, she really impacted your life. I mean, because she,
more than and when I started doing the random acts of kindness, I knew at some point I wanted to go back to that Wendy's. And she, of course, as a lot of people in the food industry, did not work there anymore. So, it's one of those things, look, man, there's a big hug, a kiss on the cheek, a moment that I would really at some point would love to be able to share with that human being, because I don't think she knows.
Right.
And it was life-changing for me. So,
and shout out to you for acting on it too, because I think a lot of us have that moment, but then we just go back into our own shell.
It's fleeting and you pull off and drive off, and we get back and we get consumed with everything, that we're wrapped around in our lives. Most certainly. I think that's natural for a lot of people. So, but again, it goes back to, look, step out of your comfort zones, get out of your car, walk back, smile, fist bump, high five, whatever, and just take 15 to 30 seconds to share with another human being what that meant.
Right. Like, thanks for being awesome today. We really, someone probably has never heard that. Thanks for being awesome. Thanks for, I love your smile. Telling someone you love their smile. I just think of all the things right now. I'm just thinking outside of my own head and saying, man, these are all things you can do to someone that might change their life. If they're just a gas station attendant or whatever, and they have no one saying hi to them, they're dealing with people buying cigarettes and lottery tickets all day long. And all of a sudden you come in and say, hey, you got a great smile, man. I just want you to know that. Fist pump, boom, walk out of there. And they're like, holy shit, who the hell came in here? Santa Claus? What the hell?
I mean, literally, and I do hear from people like when I'm buying my Powerball ticket. Well, how was your morning? Man, it has been shitty. Oh, come on now. And then I find myself reaching across the counter, giving a high five, going, man,
yes,
it feels good to be alive. It's okay. You got this. Again, a lot of it's about how we perceive things,
right?
In life. So if you continue to focus on the negativity, and I tell people the mindset is an amazingly powerful thing, and that we don't realize how powerful our minds are. So if we consume, just a shit ton of negativity and pessimism, that's what we're going to create.
Right. So smile today, folks, bottom line. And we're so excited to have you on the show. We got a few more questions for you, but now we're about to take you into our top 10. Are you ready, Michael?
No, but I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's do this. Apple or Android?
I'm an Apple guy.
Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Netflix and chill. Instagram or Facebook?
Facebook.
And I'd say probably LinkedIn's your favorite right now, right?
Yes.
Chicken or steak?
And actually, you didn't give that as a choice. But
I didn't.
LinkedIn is, yes.
I didn't give it as a choice because most people aren't even on LinkedIn, unfortunately, crazily enough. Chicken or steak?
Steak. I'm a meat man.
Oh, yeah. Laptop or smartphone?
Smartphone.
Spotify or Pandora?
Spotify.
Movies or video games?
Movies all day and twice on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Reading books or listening to books?
Oh, dear God. I don't have an answer for that. My ADHD will not allow me to consume either of those.
Gotcha.
When it comes to reading, I actually read small articles.
Got you. So the shorter the better, just kind of get you.
You got it, man. You got it. Yes.
And I think a lot of people are like that. I think a lot of us are like that. Stocks or real estate?
Stocks.
Oceans or lakes? When you're on a vacation, you're like, I got to get to ocean or a lake.
A large pond, an ocean.
Yeah, there we go. And when you wake up in the morning, you're looking yourself in the mirror, my man, you're getting ready for the day. Why do you love being you? Michael Ray.
I truly, most often, do not look in the mirror and go, dude, go be a badass.
That's awesome.
I have those moments. Again, I truly believe that I have retrained my mind.
That is awesome.
To feel awesome. So I just want to share it with the world.
Even when you're having those bad days, you got to tell yourself.
I do. I have shitty moments. I mean,
right.
I'm a human being. We do. But again, it's how we react and perceive those.
Yeah, my wife always would say something to me, and it would always stick with me. It's like, you got to be your own cheerleader. You can't expect that everyone else is going to cheer for you. Some days you got to just be your own cheerleader.
Some days you're the only one with the pom-poms, baby.
Yeah, for yourself, most importantly, because
that's right.
It's all mindset. Do you think you'll ever retire? Do you think this journey will ever end? Are you passionate about doing it till as long as we go, as long as we can get it going?
I am going to ride the wave. I think that,
yes,
not to get long-winded, but I think that I've been looking for a long time for some way to inspire a lot of people. And my journey took me years, and I think I found it.
Oh, yeah.
So, no, if I'm still at 80, I think I will still have the same energy to want to change lives.
That is awesome. And how do you typically start your day? Do you have like a routine or something to get into the mindset?
I do. And generally for me, I wake up between 6:30 and 7, and it actually starts with a smartphone because my mind is running as far as what I'm going to put in front of people to inspire them. And I actually may lay in bed for an hour and a half, not get up till 8, but I may have actually already been working for an hour and a half to put content out on multiple places just to drive people to go be awesome.
Absolutely. So you use that morning time to kind of be ready and also get your followings inspired for the day.
I do. I really do. I do.
That's awesome. I like that you do it in your bed too, man, because might as well relax. Might as well feel.
I'm chilling, man. Yeah, it's just me, my phone, and I'm okay with that because, I don't look at it as being lazy because I'm sitting there and trying to move the world.
Absolutely. And you're doing something for your mission and cause, and it probably makes you feel good to get it all done at that hour. That way you can go out and be awesome throughout the day. Know that you got your content out, got people inspired for the day. I think that's the only way to do it, man.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have different productivity. You know what I mean? Some people,
and that's okay. Yeah. Most certainly. If it means getting out of bed and getting a cup of coffee and go sitting at the table or getting out of the house. I mean, look, we all do it differently.
Right.
And I generally tell people, I ain't here to judge.
Right.
All journeys are different. So what makes you tick is dramatically different than me. So
true. There's no right or wrong answer, folks, in this life.
There really isn't, man. Yeah.
Do you have a skill you want to master? It's a new year, 2020 we're on. Is there something new you're looking to master, get better at?
You know what? Because some of these have been carved out of late, it is the ability to get up in front of people.
Yes.
I'm not afraid to do it, but I do want to refine my story and figure out how I can get in front of larger groups to inspire them.
Yeah, I could see you doing a TED Talk for sure.
That is on the, that's in the works.
And I think like with anything, folks, like my man Michael, you just got to keep putting in the work, right? I mean, like we don't get better speaker by just doing it. You haven't changed so many lives just because you took one photo, because you've been taking lots of photos, right? And so
No, and I have. And you know what? It doesn't stop. And again, I go back to Gary Vee, if no one's ever listened to his content. But, then when you truly love and you're inspiring people, well, Monday doesn't mean the same to you because it's just another day in the journey that I do the work on the weekends because I truly do enjoy it. I was out last night. I don't get paid, but it's the lives and the hearts that I'm touching. So for me, it just all runs together.
right. And you have to be that self-motivating too when you're doing something like you're doing, because no one else is going to push you. You are the smile.
You're exactly right, man. It's all the work and the things go behind the scenes to do one simple event that may only take 5-10 minutes.
Right.
There's backstories, there's planning, there's going to get balloons, there's time posting on multiple platforms.
Absolutely.
So it may be 2 or 3 hours in just one 5-10 minute event.
Right. Yeah, and like with anything, anyone that's a boss or the owner or the the director or anything, it's on you. If you decide not to wake up and start smiling, then shit, the whole Smile Project is going to be not going to be happening.
It's going to shit the bed, man.
Shit the bed. You do too many days of that. Next thing you know, you don't have a project. It's like anything, just like a podcast.
You know what you do, and I get to the point I crave it so much that I tell my girlfriend, going, hot damn, we haven't done anything in 3 days.
Yes.
What are we going to do? Let's go. We got the fight, so let's keep the momentum and keep, touching people's lives and inspiring them. So
I think that's so true. Yeah. Even when you have a little couple days off or you're doing some other stuff, that's life for all of us, but getting back on that horse, man, it's amazing. Do you have a favorite app or tool that you like using on a daily basis in your life?
When I say unfortunately, I mean, it really does come down to social media. I do
Absolutely.
enjoy. It's important enough to me to let them know how thankful I am that they've taken the time to tell me how it's impacting, inspiring them. So, the work doesn't stop. You put the content out there, and in a lot of cases, it's emotional. So because it's emotional, people are moved and compelled to not only comment, but to send private messages. So for me, again, the work carries on all day and into the evening. So I may be home sitting there watching a movie at 9:30 tonight, but I am constantly on my phone. And thankfully I have incredibly supportive, children and girlfriend and people in my life that I do want to be the person that responds to everything. So for me, I don't play a lot of games. I don't mess around. It's really being responsive to people who are sharing in this journey, really on LinkedIn and Facebook.
That's awesome. It's so true, folks. I always tell people social media is not 1 to 100 million people. It's 1 to 1. Don't ever forget that. I mean, too often people say, I'm not getting enough engagements. I'm not getting enough this and this. And it's like, okay, well, when's the last time you engaged with anyone that's commented on any of your posts? Oh, I've never done that. Oh, well, there you go. That's the problem. Like engage with someone that likes to engage with your stuff and be there and talk back to them, inspire them. Also,
and it is truly, when you do that, Travis, it's amazing then, some of the relationships that are formed and how supportive people are because, those comments have carried over into supporting each other in their work and private messages. Absolutely. And again, globally,
so true. My man Gary Vee always was doing that, and he's obviously his following has grown tremendously. But
just ridiculous.
When he was, putting in the grind in the beginning, maybe 10 years ago when I started my business, shit, I'd ask him some questions on Twitter and he'd respond. I mean, he would straight up. I mean, it wouldn't be a ton of response, but he actually was responding to almost everybody, and now even still he's responding to people. And maybe it's his team.
He does, and I think in some form or fashion, he puts his cell phone number out there. I think he does occasionally take phone calls. And look, that's phenomenal, man. Being there for people, even though you've got millions of followers, you practice what you preach. So
right, yeah. Even if you grow, it doesn't matter.
When you're inspiring and touching people's hearts, man, it goes a long way to know that people like him that are still responsive.
Right. Absolutely. And he's practicing what he preaches, folks. So go follow Gary Vee. We've obviously talked about him. Be real today for a steak dinner. if someone could come to Louisville and you could sit down with them, anyone in the world, who would it be?
If I could sit down with anybody in the world, who would it be?
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I go back to some of my faith-based element, and that's
Absolutely.
just putting a total stranger that I'm supposed to run into. Here's just briefly another story. I had gone into Starbucks a few weeks ago, and I only had about a half an hour, and a dude walked in a badass getup, and he walks out, and all of a sudden I felt that tap on the shoulder. I walked up, introduced myself, took a picture with the guy. We talked for 5 minutes. I posted the picture to my platform. He responded to me an hour later. He goes, I left. I openly wept because when I walked into Starbucks, it was only to use the bathroom.
Wow.
And then I meet you and you smile at the stranger. But what you didn't know is that 15 minutes before I walked into the bathroom, I just buried my father.
Oh.
I came from literally the cemetery to use the bathroom. I see you, and there's this total stranger that wants to hug and smile me. So for me, my response is just somebody who needs it, who actually needs the time.
Oh my God.
So there's not one person over another.
Right.
But actually somebody that needs their life impacted and inspired enough to make a difference.
That's amazing, Michael. That is amazing. Wow. I just want to say thank you for your energy and your positivity, as well as obviously your mission, and I think that anyone that's listening today, please, if you have been inspired today, not only give my man a shout out, follow him on LinkedIn, Michael Ray, but also just smile at people today, folks. Just look at someone in the eyes and smile. Give them a fist pump. Give them a high five. Say, great job. We really appreciate you, what you're doing. You will be shocked the outcome, right?
You truly will, man.
And can you give our listeners one last real talk thought? Can you give us one last knowledge bomb?
I will. You know what? You can be so happy that when others see you, they become happy too.
Oh my God. So true. So true. And where's the best place for people to find you? I know we've been talking about a variety of different places, but where's your favorite place?
So, again, on LinkedIn, it's just Michael Ray. I don't have it separated out. If they do go to Facebook, I do have a separate following called Smile Project Louisville. I'm about halfway done with creating my website. It's just the simplicity of Smile Project Louisville. You can find me on Instagram as Smile Project Louisville. And I'm behind the scenes, but I know I need to carve out YouTube, and I'm getting to it. But follow me on any of those 3 platforms, and I would sincerely appreciate it.
Absolutely, my man. And once again, I just want to say thank you for what you're doing for the world and the universe. I think that if we had more people like you, we'd be much happier, peaceful, and loving universe. And I think your stage is going to get much bigger. I really do. I really feel like what you are doing and the intention behind it, and the fact that you're not doing it purposely for like your own gains and your own millions of dollars. It's just for the people. It's for the person that needs it. Like you said, the person that needs a smile, the person that needs the fist pump or high five. And dude, I see you gracing the stages of TED Talks, and I think you have a big platform. So keep it up, my man. I see the platform continuing to grow. You got tons of engagement on social, on LinkedIn. Folks, you've been hanging out with my man, Michael Ray and Travis Too Tall and Huff. I want to thank you again for your time today, for listening, and let's keep being real. We're all going through a lot right now, and Real-Time Outsource, my business, is giving back to local and small businesses. Through our social media services and campaigns, we are actually helping small businesses get more exposure during these times, and also when we get through these times. At the end of the day, we don't know how long this is all going to last, but most importantly, you got to think about your business right now and take it seriously. So come check us out at realtimeoutsource.com, and we would love for you to qualify and get the process started where we can take a look at your business and see if we can qualify you for some of our services. At little to no cost for most of the businesses, and some businesses, you're gonna have to pay, but that's just part of life, right? But most importantly is that I think this is the time, folks, that you can actually help thrive in your business. And so I would love to help you personally with our team. We're all going through a tough time right now, so take advantage of this. Realtimeoutsource.com. Check us out, and we would love to do some business with you and help you with your social and digital media in 2020 and beyond. What's another epic episode? And if you enjoyed the episode today, can you please do me a favor and subscribe to our podcast, The Be Real Show, on iTunes or your favorite podcast platform, and also take a little time today, if you don't mind, and give your boy T Huff a review. I would really super appreciate it, and thank you so much for listening today.